The metallic clang of the spoon against the bowl cuts through the morning air like a blade scraping steel. "Hey there, beautiful contractor." Staff Sergeant Thorne Blackwell's voice slices through the morning din of Norfolk Naval Base dining hall like a razor through flesh. 20 Navy SEALs stop eating, heads turning toward the morning's entertainment. "I'm curious to know what your rank might be." Paisley Crane sits alone in the far corner, not looking up from her bowl of oatmeal. She's striking. Porcelain skin with natural freckles, scattered across high cheekbones, blonde curls escaping from a messy high bun, captivating blue eyes that seem to hold winter storms. In an oversized gray t-shirt bearing no rank, she looks more like a lost princess than military personnel. Her hands remain steady on the spoon as if she's defusing a bomb. Around her, 30 personnel lean forward, phones already recording. Blackwell struts closer, his 6'4" frame casting a shadow across her table. He's perfect. Movie star jaw, chest decorated with enough ribbons to stock a gift shop, carrying the confidence of someone who's never lost at anything. "I'm talking to you, sweetheart. Rank, service record, or are you just the coffee girl for real soldiers?" Laughter erupts, instant, cruel, designed to humiliate. Lieutenant Kinsley Mercer joins in from the adjacent table, her manicured nails tapping against her tablet like drumsticks. "Maybe she's lost, Thorne. Civilian contractors are often confused about military protocol, especially ones who look like they stepped off a magazine cover." Paisley finally looks up. Those blue eyes are the color of the Arctic Ocean, and when they meet Blackwell's gaze, something flickers across his face. Just one heartbeat. Then it's gone, replaced by that familiar smirk. "Higher than yours," she says quietly. Each word is measured like precision ammunition. "You just don't know it yet." Silence drops like a curtain, complete, absolute. In 18 minutes, every assumption in this room will shatter against reality they never saw coming. Blackwell circles her table slowly, deliberately, like a predator showcasing his catch. "Who hired a Disney princess to be a contractor?" His voice drips theatrical concern. The morning sun streaming through reinforced windows catches the blonde curls framing her face, making her appear almost ethereal against the harsh military environment. Several personnel pull out phones, sensing viral content in the making. "You know what I think?" He leans against her table, close enough that his aftershave mingles with the scent of institutional breakfast. "I think someone made a very expensive mistake. This is a secure facility, SEAL operations only, not a beauty pageant." The crowd presses closer, forming a tightening semicircle around the spectacle. Paisley cuts an apple with surgical precision, the knife moving through fruit like it's slicing through air itself. Her movements are economical, practiced, each motion flowing into the next with mechanical efficiency that seems oddly out of place for someone who supposedly fixes computers for a living. The blade never wavers, never hesitates, guided by hands that know exactly where metal should go. Master Chief Dashiell Knox watches from his corner table, gray eyebrows lowered as he studies the young woman. At 62, he served in the Navy since before most of these kids drew their first breath. Those freckles scattered across her nose bridge catch his attention. Natural, not makeup, the kind that come from years under harsh sun. But it's something else that makes him pause mid-chew on his scrambled eggs. Something about the way she holds herself, shoulders back but relaxed, weight evenly distributed even while sitting. "I'll make this simple." Blackwell straightens to his full height, playing to his audience of fellow SEALs. "You've got about 30 seconds to explain what a tech support girl is doing with access to my systems before I call security and have you escorted off this base." Her breathing follows a deliberate pattern, 4 counts in through the nose, hold for 4, 4 counts out through the mouth, hold for 4. The rhythm is so subtle most people wouldn't notice, but Knox catches it. He's seen that breathing technique before, taught at advanced tactical schools where they break you down to see what remains when everything else is stripped away. His pen stops moving across the maintenance log he's pretending to read. You can already feel it, can't you? That moment when someone quiet gets pushed too far and you know something incredible is about to unfold. I'm curious, where are you watching this story from right now? Whether you're joining us from the States, somewhere across Europe, Asia, or any corner of this world, there's something universal about recognizing strength that doesn't need to announce itself. Drop your location in the comments. I love seeing how these stories of hidden warriors connect with people everywhere. Lieutenant Mercer rises from her seat, tablet in hand, moving closer with predatory grace. She's beautiful in the calculated way of someone who's weaponized her appearance, every gesture designed for maximum impact. Daddy's money buy you this job? Her voice carries just enough volume for the recording phones, because real military personnel earn their positions through blood, sweat, and years of training, not through connections and pretty smiles. The accusation hangs in the air like smoke from a discharged weapon. Several SEALs exchange glances, uncertain whether they're witnessing justice or bullying. Paisley doesn't respond immediately, instead reaching for her tablet with those same steady hands. Chief Warrant Officer Bowen Thatcher notices how her delicate fingers move across the encrypted screen with military efficiency, navigating security protocols that should take most civilians several minutes to complete. She accomplishes the same task in under 10 seconds. Pretty face doesn't understand encryption protocols, Thatcher mutters loud enough for nearby tables to hear. He's built like a linebacker stuffed into dress blues, with technical knowledge that runs deeper than his official role requires. Probably thinks a firewall is something you build in your backyard. But Paisley's movements contradict his assumption. Those manicured nails dance across classified access menus with intimate familiarity, each keystroke precise and purposeful. She pulls up system diagnostics that most contractors wouldn't know existed, her blue eyes scanning data streams with the intensity of someone reading intelligence reports rather than routine maintenance logs. Commander Aspen Kensington enters the dining hall like she owns the entire Atlantic Fleet. 3 tours in Afghanistan have given her the kind of bearing that makes junior personnel automatically straighten their posture. She surveys the gathering crowd with practiced assessment, her gaze stopping on the blonde woman at the center of attention. What's a supermodel doing in a secure area? The question cuts through background chatter like a combat knife. The mockery intensifies. Someone calls out about Fashion Week. Another voice suggests the base is hosting a photo shoot. Paisley's blonde hair catches the morning light streaming through windows, creating an almost angelic halo effect that makes her appear completely out of place among the utilitarian military surroundings. Her porcelain complexion seems to glow against the harsh fluorescent lighting, making every freckle stand out like tiny constellations across her cheeks. But Knox notices something else. When Commander Kensington barks her question, Paisley's posture shifts almost imperceptibly. Not cowering or defensive, but alert, ready. The kind of subtle positioning he's seen in operators who've learned to assess threats automatically, even in supposedly safe environments. The crowd grows restless, sensing blood in the water. Someone starts a slow clap. Another voice calls for her contractor badge to be confiscated. The pressure builds like steam in a boiler, and Paisley finds herself effectively cornered in what's supposed to be a safe space for base personnel. She stands slowly, deliberately, the movement flowing like water. Even this simple action contradicts expectations. There's no uncertainty, no fear, just controlled precision that speaks to muscle memory trained under circumstances most people will never experience. Her hands fold behind her back, settling into a position that's exactly regulation military bearing. Not approximately correct, not close enough for civilian interpretation, but precisely as it's drilled into personnel until their bodies remember the positioning decades later. Captain Harlow Beckham materializes from the serving line, breakfast tray balanced in one hand, while his other gestures dismissively toward Paisley. "Someone this pretty will distract real soldiers from operations," he announces to the room. "We've got enough problems maintaining operational security without adding complications." His eyes rake over her appearance with unconcealed disdain. "Leave her alone. She looks scared and defenseless," Petty Officer Emery Whitlock calls from across the room. His protective instincts have been triggered by what appears to be a vulnerable woman being systematically humiliated by men who outrank her in both authority and physical presence. He can't see the steel beneath the silk, the warrior hidden behind the princess mask. The dining hall buzzes with competing voices. Some personnel defend her right to be present, others question her qualifications, and a growing number simply want to see how this confrontation resolves. Phones continue recording, capturing every moment for social media platforms that will spread this story across military communities worldwide within hours. Admiral Caspian Hartwell pauses in the doorway, his morning routine interrupted by unusual commotion. He's scheduled for briefings that will determine deployment schedules for the next 6 months. But something about the scene makes him linger. His eyes find the blonde woman at the center of attention, studying those distinctive blue eyes with growing recognition that he can't quite place. Something familiar, something important. Something he should remember but can't immediately identify. The tactical breathing continues. 4 in, hold, 4 out, hold. Knox recognizes the pattern now. It's combat stress management, taught at Fort Bragg, at Coronado, at classified facilities where operators learn to function under pressure that would break ordinary people. He's never seen a civilian contractor use those techniques. Hell, he's never seen most Navy personnel use them correctly. Paisley's communication devices require the same satellite-grade encryption that elite teams used in hostile territories. Specialized equipment designed for operators who couldn't afford communication failures when lives depended on secure channels. 20 minutes pass with escalating verbal harassment. Blackwell's initial mockery has evolved into systematic interrogation, designed to expose what he perceives as fraudulent credentials. Mercer's social attacks have grown sharper, more personal, targeting everything from Paisley's appearance to her presumed background. Thatcher questions her technical knowledge with increasingly complex challenges that should stump any legitimate contractor. But something unexpected happens. The weapon assembly test Thatcher designed to humiliate her instead reveals expertise that shouldn't exist. Those manicured nails disassemble and reassemble an M4 carbine with fluid precision that speaks to hundreds of hours of practice. Not the awkward fumbling he expected, but the smooth efficiency of someone who's performed field maintenance under combat conditions. Radio terminology and that sweet voice sounds wrong coming from those rosebud lips, Knox mutters to himself, watching her navigate communication protocols with casual expertise. She's using technical language that most Navy personnel have to look up in manuals, speaking it like her native tongue. When Knox approaches to shake her hand, a gesture of respect in a room full of hostility, he feels unexpected calluses hidden beneath soft skin. These aren't the rough patches that come from casual gym work or weekend hobbies. These are the specialized calluses that develop from years of weapon handling, rope work, and equipment operation under extreme conditions. Who else is getting that feeling that Paisley is operating on a completely different level than anyone realizes? Share what you're thinking right now. What details are making you suspect there's way more to her story than meets the eye? The confrontation escalates when Mercer steps too close. Personal space violated in a calculated attempt to trigger defensive reactions. But Paisley's response isn't what anyone expects. Instead of backing down or calling for help, she shifts into a stance that makes her blue eyes flash dangerous warning signals. The movement is subtle but unmistakable to anyone with combat training. Balanced weight distribution, hands positioned for instant reaction, situational awareness expanding to encompass every potential threat in the room. Commander Kensington reviews Paisley's photo identification with growing confusion. The face matches perfectly, but the security clearance level attached to this seemingly innocent contractor doesn't make sense. High-level classifications aren't handed out to fix computer problems or update software systems. They're reserved for personnel with operational necessity and proven reliability. Something doesn't add up. During tactical discussions, conversations that civilian contractors shouldn't understand, much less participate in, Paisley's features sharpen with intelligence that startles experienced military personnel. She doesn't just follow complex strategic concepts, she anticipates them, offering insights that reveal understanding of operational frameworks, typically restricted to command-level officers. Captain Beckham's beauty-based assumptions backfire spectacularly when she corrects his technical errors in front of the entire dining hall. His confident assertions about system capabilities crumble under her precise knowledge of actual specifications. The pretty decoration he dismissed demonstrates expertise that exceeds his own, leaving him stammering excuses while she maintains professional composure. False theories emerge as personnel struggle to categorize someone who doesn't fit expected patterns. Russian spy using looks as honey trap operation, Mercer whispers to nearby SEALs, her jealousy transforming into paranoid speculation. The theory gains traction because it provides explanation for impossible contradictions, beauty combined with capability, innocence masking expertise. Knox observes how she moves through the dining hall with what appears to be dancer's grace, but his experienced eye recognizes something else entirely. That fluid motion actually hides warrior training, the kind of spatial awareness and controlled movement that comes from years of tactical instruction. She navigates obstacles without conscious thought, maintains escape routes automatically, positions herself for maximum tactical advantage even during casual conversation. Her phone rings during the height of tension. The voice that emerges from those soft lips sounds like military command authority, crisp and precise, in ways that contradict her supposed civilian status. She issues what sounds suspiciously like operational directives, using terminology and communication protocols that civilian contractors shouldn't know exist. Admiral Hartwell initiates deeper database searches, studying her face in official photographs with growing recognition. Something about those distinctive features connects to classified briefings he's attended, faces associated with operations that officially never happened. The pieces don't fit together yet, but patterns are emerging that suggest far more complex reality than anyone suspects. Chief Thatcher develops his own theory about foreign operatives using beauty as operational cover for espionage activities. It's the only explanation that makes sense to him. Someone with her appearance and skill combination must be playing a longer game, gathering intelligence under cover of legitimate contract work. He begins documenting evidence for security reports that will trigger investigations. Tension builds toward maximum intensity as multiple theories circulate through the dining hall. Some believe she's CIA, others suspect foreign intelligence. A few think she might be military personnel operating under deep cover for reasons they can't fathom. The only consensus is that Paisley Crane isn't what she appears to be, though nobody can agree on what she actually represents. The porcelain mask begins to crack around the edges as sustained pressure tests her operational discipline. Maintaining cover requires constant performance, never breaking character, even under systematic harassment designed to provoke authentic reactions. But something in her composure suggests this isn't her first experience with hostile environments or determined interrogation. The insurance coverage protecting classified personnel demanded comprehensive policies that standard military benefits couldn't provide. Elite operators needed specialized protection for high-risk situations where conventional coverage fell drastically short. All false theories collapse simultaneously as databases return results that contradict every assumption. She's not CIA, she's not foreign intelligence, she's not a honey trap operative or corporate spy. The systematic elimination of possibilities leaves everyone confused about what she actually might be, creating an information vacuum that breeds more speculation. Pentagon security flags activate automatically when facial recognition software matches her features to classified databases. Beauty couldn't hide her from satellite surveillance systems or biometric identification protocols. Whatever cover identity she's maintained, it's about to be compromised by technology that doesn't care about operational necessity or mission parameters. The pieces are starting to click together, and you can sense something massive is building. What's your gut telling you about what's about to be revealed? Drop your predictions in the comments. I love reading what you're picking up on. Knox pieces together final evidence as patterns become undeniable. Princess features hide warrior calluses and scars, he tells Admiral Hartwell privately. Everything about her appearance suggests innocence, but her hands tell different stories. Those aren't civilian injuries or recreational damage. That's combat conditioning. The confrontation reaches breaking point when Blackwell decides to escalate beyond verbal harassment. He grabs her arm aggressively, completely underestimating the strength hidden beneath delicate appearance. His assumption that pretty equals fragile, that beauty indicates weakness, is about to be corrected in spectacular fashion. Commander Kensington makes a final attempt at official resolution by moving to arrest her for suspicious behavior and possible espionage activities. "You're too pretty and young for serious espionage work," she declares, producing flex cuffs intended to restrain what she believes is a civilian contractor operating outside her authority. But Blackwell's aggressive grab becomes the catalyst for revelation. He yanks her arm hard, expecting princess fragility and immediate submission. Instead, his grip catches the edge of her gray t-shirt and pulls with enough force to stretch fabric beyond its limits. The sound of tearing cloth cuts through the dining hall noise like a gunshot. Everyone freezes as gray material rips dramatically across her shoulder, exposing porcelain skin and creating shocking contrast against what lies beneath. Black ink stands stark against fair skin. A Devgru trident, wings spread with predatory grace, emerges from torn fabric like emerging from shadow. Intricate details become visible as more material falls away, crossed bones beneath the trident, unit numbers that don't appear in any public database, Latin text that speaks of death and service and promises to fallen brothers. The cognitive dissonance is overwhelming. Princess features above battle-hardened body art create an impossible combination that breaks everyone's ability to process reality. Runway model beauty with elite operator credentials. Innocent face marked with warrior ink that tells stories of classified missions and brotherhood forged in blood. 3 seconds of absolute silence follow. Complete suspension of thought as 30-plus personnel attempt to reconcile contradictory evidence. Then recognition begins. "Holy cow," Knox whispers, his voice barely audible above the sudden stillness. That face was in classified Pentagon briefings. That's not a contractor, that's not a civilian, that's... The visual transformation is immediate and total. Blonde curls still frame her face, but those blue eyes have shifted from innocent to Arctic predator. The helpless beauty everyone dismissed reveals herself as an apex warrior hiding in plain sight. Disney princess becomes Navy SEAL elite in the space between heartbeats. Blackwell's hand falls away like he's been burned. He cannot reconcile grabbing supermodel beauty who apparently outranks every general on the base. His mouth moves without sound, trying to form apologies for harassment that could end his career and possibly his freedom. Mercer's tablet slips from nerveless fingers, clattering against the tile floor. Jealousy transforms into genuine awe as she realizes she's been attacking a real princess, someone who earned royalty through elite service rather than by accident of birth. Her social media campaigns suddenly seem pathetically inadequate compared to accomplishments written in ink and scars. Thatcher's technical dismissal crumbles completely. Beauty has a perfectly camouflaged genius-level operator whose expertise exceeds anything he's encountered. His condescending tests now appear embarrassingly inappropriate, like challenging Einstein to solve basic arithmetic. Commander Kensington's hand moves to the formal salute position before conscious thought intervenes. Muscle memory recognizes authority that transcends rank structure, responding to operational credentials that dwarf her own considerable experience. The pretty decoration she planned to arrest becomes the deadliest person on the entire military base. Knox allows himself a knowing smile as pieces click together perfectly. The perfect operational disguise has been revealed. Princess features hiding apex warrior soul. Every breadcrumb he collected now makes sense. Every inconsistency explained by a cover story that required months of preparation and flawless execution. Whitlock continues filming, capturing complete transformation from helpless beauty to lethal predator for audiences who won't believe such contradictions exist in real life. His protective instincts have been redirected towards someone who needs protection about as much as a nuclear submarine needs swimming lessons. Environmental shift ripples through the crowd like a shockwave. Cognitive dissonance spreads as Disney princess becomes Navy SEAL elite, forcing everyone to recalibrate assumptions about capability, appearance, and the relationship between them. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Phones freeze in position. The entire dining hall holds its breath. Database confirmation follows within minutes. Her striking face belongs to officially deceased Tier 1 operative listed as killed in action during classified operations in Afghanistan 2 years earlier. Commander Paisley Wraith Sterling, DevGru Team 6, recipient of Silver Star and Purple Heart for actions that officially never occurred in locations that don't appear on any map. The heritage revelation explains operational advantages nobody considered. Russian-American beauty creates perfect cover for international infiltration operations. Enemies consistently underestimate the blonde princess, making her appearance a major tactical asset rather than liability. The genetic lottery that created her distinctive features also provides ideal operational camouflage for missions requiring cultural invisibility. Advanced tactical certification programs offered the strategic training that separated exceptional operators from standard military personnel. Elite institutions provided specialized education in complex operational environments that demanded superior expertise. Power inversion completes as everyone realizes the fundamental truth. Princesses don't need rescue. She is the rescue operation. The helpless woman they've been harassing could eliminate every person in this room before security could respond. Their mockery targeted someone capable of single-handedly conducting missions that save hundreds of American lives. The tattoo tells stories written in blood and sacrifice. Each element represents missions completed, brothers lost, promises made to families who will never know how their loved ones died. The Latin inscription, Ut mortuae vivant, that the dead may live, speaks to operational philosophy that accepts personal death to preserve others' lives. Knox approaches with proper military bearing, his earlier suspicions vindicated in spectacular fashion. "Ma'am," he begins, voice carrying respect earned through recognition of shared professional understanding. "I knew something was off, but I couldn't place it. Should have recognized JSOC training from the beginning." She adjusts torn fabric to maintain modest appearance while radiating authority that needs no uniform or rank insignia to command respect. Her voice, when she finally speaks, carries the weight of someone accustomed to issuing orders that determine life and death outcomes. "Thank you for trusting your instincts, Master Chief. Your discretion was noted and appreciated." Admiral Hartwell approaches with measured steps, his morning briefing schedule forgotten in light of developments that will require immediate Pentagon notification. "Commander Sterling," he says quietly, "I believe we need to discuss your operational parameters and current mission status." The dining hall begins to empty as personnel process implications of what they've witnessed. Some leave quietly, understanding they've been present for classified revelation that shouldn't be discussed outside secure channels. Others remain, drawn by the magnetic presence of someone whose existence challenges everything they thought they knew about military service and operational reality. Consequences begin cascading immediately. Blackwell faces formal disciplinary action for harassing superior officers operating under classified cover. His aggressive behavior toward elite operatives conducting authorized missions represents a career-ending failure of judgment that will follow him through any remaining military service. Mercer contemplates deleting social media accounts that documented harassment of national security assets. Her attacks on decorated war heroes will require damage control and formal apologies that can't undo the public record of her jealousy-driven campaign against someone infinitely more qualified than herself. Thatcher requests transfer to technical positions where his expertise won't be embarrassed by encounters with operators whose knowledge dwarfs his own. His condescending attitude toward Pretty Face has been revealed as a dangerous assumption that could compromise operational security in future encounters. Commander Kensington revises security protocols to account for deep cover personnel whose appearance contradicts operational capabilities. Beauty can no longer be dismissed as a weakness indicator when it might camouflage elite operators conducting classified missions under civilian cover. Captain Beckham submits a formal request for additional training on identifying friendly assets operating under non-official cover. His assumption that attractive personnel distract real soldiers has been corrected by encounters with real soldiers whose beauty serves as tactical advantage rather than liability. If this story of hidden strength and ultimate revelation gives you chills, show your support by hitting that like button, clicking the thanks button to help bring you more of these incredible stories. And make sure to subscribe because, trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next in this series. 3 helicopters appear on the horizon, their rotors beating rhythmic thunder that grows louder with each passing second. These aren't standard transport aircraft, but command birds reserved for flag officers and emergency deployments. The kind of air support that suggests someone very important is responding to a very serious situation. General Patricia Stormwind emerges from the lead aircraft before rotors stop spinning, her silver stars catching afternoon sunlight as she strides across the tarmac with purpose that suggests this isn't a social visit. 2 additional generals follow, Marcus Ironhold carrying a briefcase that undoubtedly contains legal documentation, and Victoria Steelcrest, whose intelligence background speaks to operational complexities requiring immediate resolution. The formal salute ceremony takes place in the same dining hall where harassment occurred hours earlier. Every base personnel not engaged in critical duties attends as witnesses to historical moments. The official recognition of a decorated war hero whose service required sacrificing even acknowledgement of her existence. "Commander Sterling," General Stormwind's voice carries across silent assembly, "on behalf of Joint Special Operations Command and the United States Navy, I formally welcome you back to official service status and commend your successful completion of Operation Deep Current." The citation details emerge in carefully edited form. 4 months of maintaining cover while infiltrating suspected intelligence leak at Norfolk Naval Base. Her systematic endurance of harassment served operational necessity, allowing her to identify and document security vulnerabilities that threatened American lives overseas. Admiral Hartwell reads a commendation that credits her with exposing a network of personnel sharing classified information with foreign agents. 3 sailors and 1 officer will face court-martial for treason, their capture made possible by operators willing to sacrifice personal dignity for mission success. Knox receives promotion to Senior Chief Petty Officer for demonstrating observational skills and professional judgment that contributed to successful mission completion. His ability to recognize inconsistencies without compromising operational security exemplifies standards expected of senior enlisted leadership. Whitlock earns commendation for documenting transformation that will serve as training material for future courses on identifying friendly assets operating under deep cover. His video evidence provides clear demonstration of how appearance can mask operational capability. The cultural transformation begins immediately. Base personnel who witnessed revelation spread stories that become legend within military communities. Princess Operator enters service mythology as an example of a warrior whose strength wore a beautiful mask, challenging assumptions about capability and appearance that have persisted for generations. Institutional changes follow formal recommendations submitted to Pentagon leadership. New protocols require additional verification before questioning contractor credentials. Training programs incorporate lessons about cognitive biases that can compromise security when personnel make assumptions based on appearance rather than evidence. Legacy establishment ensures that Commander Sterling's sacrifice becomes inspiration for future recruitment efforts. Women considering military service see proof that strength manifests in unexpected forms, that elite operators don't necessarily conform to traditional masculine stereotypes that have dominated the special operations community. But questions remain. Her encrypted communication devices continue receiving messages from sources that don't appear in any official directory. References to Operation Shadowfall suggest ongoing missions requiring her specific capabilities and cover identity that Beauty provides. The final conversation occurs privately between Paisley and Admiral Hartwell, away from recording devices and curious personnel. Strategic implications of her mission extend beyond Norfolk Naval Base to encompass international operations that require operators capable of infiltrating hostile environments without triggering suspicion. Enemy expects male operatives exclusively, she explains during a classified briefing that outlines future deployment parameters. They'll never suspect a blonde princess carrying classified materials or conducting reconnaissance in locations where traditional operators would be immediately identified and eliminated. Her next assignment involves European operations against adversaries who've demonstrated ability to identify and neutralize conventional assets. Beauty that everyone dismissed as weakness becomes the ultimate operational weapon when deployed against enemies whose cultural biases create exploitable vulnerabilities. The final line of the official mission report captures the operational philosophy that guided her success. Sometimes the deadliest warriors wear the most beautiful masks of innocence. Truth that challenges assumptions about strength, capability, and the infinite varieties of courage that serve national security interests. As evening settles over Norfolk Naval Base, personnel continue processing implications of day's events. Some question their own biases about appearance and capability. Others wonder what additional secrets might be hidden among personnel they encounter daily. Everyone agrees that reality proved stranger than fiction when the Disney princess revealed herself as an elite warrior whose service required sacrificing acknowledgement of her very existence. The gray t-shirt has been replaced by proper uniform-bearing insignia that tells an abbreviated story of service and sacrifice. But something in her eyes suggests this chapter closes while another opens. Other missions wait. Other covers require maintenance. Other enemies need to learn that beauty can be deadlier than any weapon when wielded by someone trained to use every advantage in service of something larger than herself. Morning will bring new challenges, new assignments, new opportunities to serve in shadows where heroes work without recognition because the work itself is rewarding enough. Tonight brings rest earned through successful completion of a mission that required 4 months of systematic humiliation, endured without breaking character or compromising objectives. The transformation from contractor to commander is complete, but the warrior wearing a beautiful mask remains ready for whatever comes next. The encrypted tablet chimes at 0430 hours, pulling Paisley from the light sleep that passes for rest during deep cover operations. 3 months of maintaining civilian contractor persona has required constant vigilance, never fully relaxing even in supposedly secure quarters. The message displays coordinates for emergency extraction point and single word, compromised. But she doesn't move toward the extraction coordinates. Instead, she deletes the message and prepares for another day of systematic humiliation that serves operational necessity. Someone at Norfolk Naval Base has been selling classified intelligence that gets American operators killed overseas, and she's closer to identifying the source than Pentagon leadership realizes. Her morning routine includes checking concealed recording devices planted throughout base facilities during 4 months of seemingly innocent contractor work. Audio surveillance captures conversations that reveal more about command structure and personnel loyalties than official reports ever document. Today's recordings contain references to package delivery and overseas friends that suggest intelligence transfer operations continuing despite increased security measures. The dining hall incident marked a turning point in her investigation. Personnel reactions to supposed civilian contractors revealed underlying attitudes about security protocols and classification procedures that illuminated potential vulnerabilities. Several individuals demonstrated knowledge of operational details that exceeded their official authorization levels, suggesting access to information they shouldn't possess. Chief Thatcher's technical challenges inadvertently exposed his familiarity with classified communication protocols that fall outside his documented training history. His attempts to humiliate her revealed expertise in systems architecture that suggests unofficial access to restricted databases. Someone taught him things he shouldn't know, or someone gave him access he shouldn't have. Lieutenant Mercer's social attacks contain specific references to deployment schedules and personnel rotations that aren't included in standard base announcements. Her gossip network apparently extends into classified planning sessions, where such information is discussed. Either she has sources feeding her restricted intelligence, or she's developed independent methods for accessing protected databases. Captain Beckham's sabotage attempts demonstrated sophisticated understanding of security clearance, verification procedures that enable him to manipulate contractor access without triggering automatic alerts. His ability to temporarily suspend her credentials suggests administrative privileges that exceed his documented authority levels. Someone enhanced his system access, or he's acquired unauthorized administrative tools. The systematic harassment served dual purpose, maintaining her cover while forcing potential intelligence sources to reveal themselves through defensive reactions. Personnel who possess classified information often betray their knowledge through attempts to protect operational security from perceived threats. Their responses to supposed security breaches illuminate actual security vulnerabilities. Master Chief Knox approaches during morning equipment check with an expression that suggests important development. "Ma'am, overnight surveillance detected unauthorized database access from 3 different terminals. Someone's been pulling deployment files and personnel records during shift changes when monitoring systems experience routine gaps in coverage." Her cover identity as technical contractor provides perfect explanation for investigating computer security irregularities without arousing suspicion among personnel who might be responsible for breaches. "Show me the access logs, Master Chief. We need to identify which accounts were compromised and what information was accessed." The data reveals a pattern of systematic intelligence gathering, focused on SEAL team deployment schedules, mission parameters, and personnel files for operators currently assigned to classified overseas operations. Someone has been documenting American capabilities and sharing that information with recipients whose identities remain hidden behind layers of digital encryption. Admiral Hartwell joins the investigation with briefing materials that transform local security concerns into national security emergencies. "Commander, we've intercepted communications suggesting intelligence sold from this base resulted in compromised operations in 3 different theaters. American operators died because someone provided enemy forces with advance warning about mission parameters." The weight of that revelation settles like lead in her chest. Fellow operators, brothers and sisters in arms, died because someone at this base chose money over loyalty. The harassment she endured, the systematic humiliation designed to maintain operational cover, becomes insignificant compared to betrayal that cost American lives. "How many casualties, Admiral?" 7 confirmed, possibly more in operations where the cause of compromise remains unclear. His voice carries anger carefully controlled through decades of military discipline. Intelligence assessment suggests systematic compromise extending back 18 months. Someone has been very patient, very careful, and very deadly in their betrayal. The investigation intensifies as additional evidence emerges from digital forensics analysis. Financial records reveal suspicious monetary transactions coinciding with classified database access. Cryptocurrency transfers to overseas accounts suggest payment structures for intelligence sharing operations that span multiple time zones and jurisdictions. Communication intercepts provide fragments of conversations between unknown participants discussing Norfolk packages and SEAL schedules in coded language that indicates ongoing operational security compromise. Voice analysis suggests at least 3 individuals involved in an intelligence sharing network, though specific identities remain unclear. Personnel behavior analysis highlights several candidates whose actions during recent months correlate with security breaches. Individuals who questioned her contractor status most aggressively also demonstrated knowledge of restricted information that suggests privileged access to classified databases. Their attempts to expose supposed security threats may have been projection of their own illegal activities. The morning briefing includes classified updates on overseas operations that have been compromised due to intelligence leaks from Norfolk Naval Base. Mission parameters that should have remained secret reached hostile forces with enough advance warning to prepare ambushes that cost American lives and strategic objectives. Staff Sergeant Blackwell enters the briefing room with confidence that seems forced rather than natural. His aggressive behavior toward the contractor yesterday may have been a calculated attempt to discredit someone whose presence threatened ongoing intelligence operations. "Sir, are we certain this contractor isn't the source of our security problems? Her access levels and timing seem suspicious." The accusation hangs in briefing room air like smoke from discharged weapons. Several personnel exchange glances, uncertain whether they're witnessing legitimate security concerns or a misdirection attempt designed to shift suspicion away from the actual perpetrator. Commander Kensington reviews Blackwell's service record with growing interest. "Sergeant, your financial disclosure forms indicate recent acquisition of assets that exceed your documented salary by considerable margin. Care to explain how you afforded that new motorcycle and boat on enlisted pay?" The question hits like artillery strike. Blackwell's confident demeanor crumbles as he realizes his unauthorized income sources have been discovered. Attempts to blame contractors for security breaches become desperate deflection from evidence of his own criminal activities. Those were gifts from family members, inheritance from deceased relatives, perfectly legitimate sources of income that I reported through appropriate channels according to regulations. But financial investigation reveals no deceased relatives, no legitimate inheritance sources, no family members capable of providing expensive gifts. Instead, digital forensics uncovers cryptocurrency wallet receiving regular payments from overseas accounts linked to hostile intelligence services. Lieutenant Mercer attempts similar deflection when questioned about her knowledge of deployment schedules that aren't included in official announcements. Information comes from normal social networks and relationship connections. Personnel talk about upcoming assignments with friends and family members. Nothing inappropriate about staying informed. However, communication analysis reveals her social media accounts sharing specific operational details with follower networks that include foreign nationals with suspicious background profiles. Her gossip network apparently extends beyond base personnel to include recipients whose identities suggest intelligence gathering operations. Captain Beckham's administrative privileges undergo detailed audit that exposes unauthorized system modifications designed to conceal database access during specific time windows. His technical expertise enabled manipulation of security protocols that created gaps in monitoring systems, precisely when classified information was being extracted. The evidence builds systematically as investigation expands to encompass the entire intelligence sharing network. Norfolk Naval Base served as primary source, but additional facilities show similar compromise patterns, suggesting coordinated operation targeting American military capabilities across multiple installations. Chief Thatcher's technical knowledge proved most dangerous because his understanding of communication systems enabled encryption and transmission of classified information to overseas recipients without triggering standard security alerts. His expertise provided the operational backbone for intelligence sharing networks that cost American lives. Who else is getting that feeling that Paisley is operating on a completely different level than anyone realizes? Share what you're thinking right now. What details are making you suspect there's way more to her story than meets the eye? The investigation reaches a critical phase when overseas intelligence sources confirm that classified information from Norfolk Naval Base was used to plan attacks against American forces in multiple theaters. Enemy forces possessed advance warning about SEAL team operations, deployment schedules, and tactical parameters that should have remained secret until mission completion. 7 American operators died in ambushes that were only possible because hostile forces received detailed intelligence about mission parameters, timing, and personnel assignments. The betrayal wasn't abstract theft of classified documents, but direct contribution to enemy operations that targeted American military personnel. Financial investigation expands to reveal sophisticated money laundering operations designed to distribute payments for classified information across multiple participants while maintaining plausible deniability for individual contributors. Cryptocurrency transfers and offshore accounts created a complex payment structure that required months of investigation to untangle. Communication intercepts provide additional evidence of coordination between Norfolk personnel and overseas handlers who managed intelligence collection operations targeting American military capabilities. Voice analysis confirms participation by multiple base personnel in systematic betrayal that extended far beyond individual criminal activity. The morning brings additional revelations as digital forensics analysis uncovers evidence of an intelligence sharing operation that spans 18 months and involves personnel across multiple departments. Security clearances were abused to access information far beyond individual job requirements, suggesting coordinated effort to collect comprehensive intelligence about American military capabilities. Admiral Hartwell convenes an emergency briefing with Pentagon leadership to discuss operational implications of compromised security at Norfolk Naval Base. Investigation results require immediate action to prevent additional American casualties while maintaining operational security for ongoing missions that may have been compromised. Commander Sterling, your investigation has identified a network responsible for intelligence breaches that resulted in American deaths overseas. Evidence you collected while maintaining contractor cover will support prosecution of individuals whose betrayal cost us 7 operators and an unknown number of compromised missions. The formal recognition transforms her from supposed civilian contractor to decorated military officer whose sacrifice enabled exposure of a treasonous network that threatened American lives. 4 months of systematic humiliation served operational necessity that prevented additional casualties while gathering evidence for prosecution. But the investigation isn't complete. Additional facilities show similar compromise patterns, suggesting the intelligence sharing network extends beyond Norfolk Naval Base to encompass multiple installations across different geographic regions. Someone has been very patient, very systematic, and very successful in compromising American military security. The insurance coverage protecting classified personnel demanded comprehensive policies that standard military benefits couldn't provide. Elite operators needed specialized protection for high-risk situations where conventional coverage fell drastically short. Evidence presentation during classified briefing reveals scope of intelligence compromise that extends far beyond initial assessment. Norfolk Naval Base served as the primary collection point, but classified information was also extracted from facilities in California, Virginia, and overseas installations where American forces conduct classified operations. Personnel involved in intelligence sharing networks demonstrate sophisticated understanding of military information architecture that suggests professional training rather than opportunistic criminal activity. Someone taught them specific targeting methodologies and collection techniques that maximize intelligence value while minimizing detection risks. Coordination between multiple participants required communication systems and operational security measures that indicate foreign intelligence service involvement rather than independent criminal activity. Amateur criminals don't develop systematic approaches to military intelligence collection that span multiple installations and geographic regions. Financial investigation reveals payment structure designed to maximize participant incentives while maintaining operational security for controlling intelligence service. Regular cryptocurrency transfers provided a steady income stream that encouraged continued participation while disguising the ultimate source and destination of funds. The morning briefing includes updates on arrest operations targeting identified network participants across multiple installations simultaneously. Coordinated law enforcement action prevents communication between conspirators while securing evidence that will support prosecution under military justice system and federal espionage statutes. Staff Sergeant Blackwell faces charges of espionage, treason, and conspiracy to provide aid and comfort to enemies of the United States. His aggressive behavior toward the contractor was a calculated attempt to discredit an investigation that threatened his intelligence sharing operation with overseas handlers. Lieutenant Mercer faces similar charges for using social media platforms to distribute classified information to foreign nationals whose background investigations reveal connections to hostile intelligence services. Her jealousy-driven attacks on supposed contractors masked criminal activity that contributed to American deaths overseas. Captain Beckham faces additional charges related to computer fraud and unauthorized system access that enabled manipulation of security protocols protecting classified databases. His technical expertise provided essential support for intelligence collection operations that required sophisticated understanding of military information systems. Chief Thatcher faces charges related to unauthorized encryption and transmission of classified information to overseas recipients using communication systems designed to evade standard security monitoring. His technical knowledge enabled operational backbone for intelligence sharing networks that cost American lives. The morning brings a formal recognition ceremony that acknowledges Commander Sterling's successful completion of a deep cover operation that exposed the intelligence sharing network responsible for American casualties overseas. Her willingness to endure systematic humiliation while maintaining operational cover enabled collection of evidence supporting prosecution of military personnel who betrayed their oath. The pieces are starting to click together, and you can sense something massive is building. What's your gut telling you about what's about to be revealed? Drop your predictions in the comments. I love reading what you're picking up on. General Patricia Stormwind arrives via helicopter with briefing materials that transform local security investigation into national security emergency requiring Pentagon oversight and interagency coordination. The intelligence sharing network identified at Norfolk Naval Base represents systematic compromise of American military capabilities that extends across multiple theaters and operational environments. Commander Sterling, intelligence assessment confirms that information stolen from Norfolk Naval Base was used to plan attacks against American forces in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Enemy forces possessed advance warning about SEAL team operations that should have remained classified until mission completion. Your investigation prevented additional casualties while exposing a treasonous network that threatened ongoing operations worldwide. The formal briefing includes declassified assessment of intelligence compromise that cost 7 American lives, an unknown number of failed missions whose parameters were revealed to hostile forces through systematic betrayal by military personnel who chose money over loyalty to their brothers in arms. Evidence presentation reveals sophisticated intelligence operations managed by foreign handlers who recruited American military personnel through a combination of financial incentives and ideological manipulation. Participants believed they were exposing American military imperialism rather than understanding their actions directly contributed to attacks against American forces overseas. Financial investigation exposes complex money laundering operations designed to distribute payments for classified information while maintaining plausible deniability for individual participants. Cryptocurrency transfers and offshore banking created a payment structure that required months of investigation to untangle and trace to ultimate sources. Communication intercepts provide evidence of coordination between Norfolk personnel and overseas intelligence handlers who manage collection operations targeting American military capabilities. Voice analysis confirms participation by multiple base personnel in systematic betrayal that exceeded individual criminal activity to constitute organized espionage operation. The investigation expands to encompass additional facilities where similar compromise patterns suggest coordinated intelligence collection operations targeting American military capabilities across multiple installations. Someone has been very patient, very systematic, and very successful in compromising American operational security through recruitment of military personnel. Personnel behavior analysis during Commander Sterling's contractor cover operation revealed underlying attitudes about security protocols that illuminated potential vulnerabilities exploited by foreign intelligence services. Individuals who demonstrated unauthorized knowledge of classified information became primary suspects in systematic investigation that exposed treasonous networks. Digital forensics analysis uncovers sophisticated malware designed to extract classified information from military computer systems while avoiding standard security monitoring. Foreign intelligence services provided technical tools that enabled systematic collection of American military intelligence over extended time periods without triggering automatic detection systems. The morning brings additional arrests as investigation expands to encompass personnel at multiple installations whose financial records and communication patterns indicate participation in an intelligence sharing network managed by foreign handlers. Coordinated law enforcement action prevents destruction of evidence while securing testimony that will support prosecution under espionage statutes. Advanced tactical certification programs offered the strategic training that separated exceptional operators from standard military personnel. Elite institutions provided specialized education in complex operational environments that demanded superior expertise. Admiral Hartwell convenes an emergency session with Pentagon leadership to discuss operational implications of systematic intelligence compromise that extends beyond Norfolk Naval Base to encompass multiple installations and overseas operations. American military capabilities have been systematically documented and shared with hostile forces for extended periods without detection. Gentlemen, we're dealing with systematic penetration of American military security that resulted in enemy advance warning about operations that cost American lives. Foreign intelligence services successfully recruited military personnel across multiple installations to provide classified information that directly contributed to attacks against American forces. The strategic assessment reveals intelligence compromise that spans 18 months and involves personnel with access to operational planning for SEAL teams, Army Rangers, Marine Special Operations, and Air Force Special Tactics. Enemy forces received comprehensive intelligence about American Special Operations capabilities that enabled targeted attacks against high-value missions. Evidence suggests foreign intelligence services specifically targeted personnel with financial difficulties, ideological grievances, or personal vulnerabilities that made them susceptible to recruitment for intelligence sharing operations. Professional recruitment techniques indicate sophisticated understanding of American military culture and individual motivations. Counterintelligence investigation reveals a systematic approach to military intelligence collection that required years of preparation and significant resource investment by foreign intelligence services. Norfolk Naval Base was the primary target, but similar operations compromised security at installations worldwide where American forces conduct classified missions. The morning briefing includes classified assessment of operational security implications for ongoing missions that may have been compromised through an intelligence sharing network identified at Norfolk Naval Base. Mission parameters, personnel assignments, and tactical approaches require complete revision to account for potential enemy advance warning. Personnel security reviews expand to encompass all military personnel with access to classified information about special operations capabilities. Background investigations, financial audits, and communication analysis seek to identify additional participants in intelligence sharing networks that may remain active despite arrests at Norfolk Naval Base. The investigation reaches a climactic phase when overseas intelligence sources confirm specific details about how classified information from Norfolk Naval Base was used to plan attacks against American forces. Enemy tactical communications intercepted during recent operations contain references to American personnel assignments, equipment specifications, and operational timelines that could only have come from classified databases. 7 American operators died in ambushes that were only possible because hostile forces possessed detailed advance intelligence about mission parameters that should have remained secret until completion. The betrayal wasn't abstract document theft, but direct contribution to enemy operations targeting American military personnel in combat zones. Communication intercepts provide evidence of real-time intelligence sharing during active American operations, suggesting some participants maintained contact with foreign handlers even while American forces were conducting missions that their betrayal helped compromise. The treasonous activity continued even as American operators died due to intelligence leaks. Financial investigation reveals payments to network participants increased following successful enemy attacks against American forces, indicating foreign intelligence services rewarded betrayal that resulted in American casualties. Blood money flowed to military personnel whose treason directly contributed to deaths of their brothers in arms. The evidence becomes overwhelming as investigation uncovers systematic betrayal that spans multiple installations, involves dozens of military personnel, and directly contributed to enemy operations that cost American lives overseas. Foreign intelligence services successfully penetrated American military security through recruitment of personnel who chose money over loyalty. But something unexpected emerges during final evidence analysis. Communication patterns suggest intelligence sharing network includes participants at facilities Commander Sterling hasn't investigated, indicating systematic compromise extends beyond Norfolk Naval Base to encompass installations where she has never operated under any cover identity. The realization hits like artillery strike. Foreign intelligence services didn't just recruit individual military personnel for opportunistic intelligence sharing. They developed a comprehensive penetration strategy targeting American special operations capabilities through systematic recruitment across multiple installations simultaneously. Someone has been very patient, very systematic, and very successful in compromising American military security through coordinated intelligence operations that span multiple years, involve dozens of participants, and target specific operational capabilities that foreign intelligence services wanted to neutralize. Admiral Hartwell receives encrypted communication that transforms investigation from local security matter into national emergency, requiring immediate Pentagon oversight and interagency coordination. Intelligence compromise at Norfolk Naval Base represents systematic attack against American special operations capabilities that threatens ongoing missions worldwide. Commander Sterling, intelligence assessment confirms systematic penetration of American military security by foreign intelligence services. Norfolk Naval Base was the primary collection point, but similar operations compromised security at installations across multiple theaters. Your investigation exposed coordinated attacks against American special operations that required years of preparation and significant resource investment. The morning brings formal recognition of successful deep cover operations that prevented additional American casualties while exposing systematic betrayal that cost 7 operators their lives. Commander Sterling's willingness to endure months of humiliation while maintaining contractor cover enabled collection of evidence supporting prosecution of military personnel who chose treason over loyalty. But questions remain about scope of intelligence compromise and whether additional participants remain active at installations that haven't been investigated. Foreign intelligence services demonstrated sophisticated understanding of American military culture and operational procedures that suggests ongoing penetration beyond identified networks. The investigation reveals sophisticated recruitment techniques designed to identify military personnel vulnerable to ideological manipulation or financial incentives that would motivate betrayal of classified information. Foreign intelligence services specifically targeted individuals with access to special operations intelligence, while maintaining operational security that prevented detection for extended periods. Evidence suggests a systematic approach to military intelligence collection that required years of preparation, significant resource investment, and professional expertise in recruitment and operational security. Norfolk Naval Base wasn't a random target, but specifically chosen facility that provided access to classified information about American special operations capabilities. Counterintelligence assessment reveals foreign intelligence services successfully recruited military personnel across multiple installations to provide comprehensive intelligence about American military capabilities that enabled targeted attacks against high-value operations. Systematic penetration achieved strategic objectives that individual criminal activity could never accomplish. The morning briefing includes classified updates on arrest operations targeting identified network participants across multiple installations simultaneously. Coordinated law enforcement prevents communication between conspirators while securing evidence supporting prosecution under military justice system and federal espionage statutes. Personnel involved in intelligence sharing networks demonstrate sophisticated understanding of military information architecture that suggests professional training rather than opportunistic criminal activity. Someone provided specific guidance about target selection, collection methodologies, and operational security that maximized intelligence value while minimizing detection risks. Financial investigation reveals a payment structure designed to create a steady income stream that encourages continued participation while maintaining operational security for controlling intelligence service. Regular cryptocurrency transfers created an incentive system that rewarded systematic betrayal over extended time periods. The investigation expands to encompass communication analysis that reveals coordination between multiple participants across different installations, suggesting centralized management by foreign intelligence handlers who orchestrated systematic collection operations targeting American special operations capabilities. Digital forensics uncovers sophisticated malware designed to extract classified information while avoiding standard security monitoring, indicating foreign intelligence services provided technical tools that enabled systematic collection without triggering automatic detection systems that should have identified unauthorized database access. The morning brings additional evidence that transforms investigation from criminal prosecution into national security emergency, requiring immediate action to prevent additional American casualties while maintaining operational security for ongoing missions that may have been compromised through systematic intelligence sharing. But the most shocking revelation emerges during final analysis of communication intercepts. Voice patterns suggest one of the foreign intelligence handlers managing recruitment and coordination operations is actually former American military personnel who defected to hostile intelligence service after gaining intimate knowledge of American operational security procedures. The betrayal runs deeper than anyone suspected. Not just recruitment of active military personnel for intelligence sharing, but systematic penetration managed by a former American operator who understands special operations culture, security procedures, and psychological vulnerabilities that enable successful recruitment of military personnel for treasonous activities. Admiral Hartwell convenes an emergency briefing with Pentagon leadership to discuss implications of systematic intelligence compromise, managed by former American military personnel who defected to foreign intelligence service. Counterintelligence investigation reveals sophisticated understanding of American operational culture that enabled successful recruitment across multiple installations. Gentlemen, we're not dealing with random criminal activity or opportunistic intelligence sharing. Foreign intelligence services recruited former American military personnel to manage systematic penetration of our special operations capabilities. Someone with intimate knowledge of our culture, procedures, and vulnerabilities orchestrated a recruitment network that cost American lives. The strategic implications extend beyond individual criminal prosecution to encompass systematic review of personnel security procedures, background investigation protocols, and ongoing monitoring systems designed to prevent recruitment of military personnel by foreign intelligence services. Evidence suggests the former American operator provided foreign intelligence services with detailed intelligence about military culture, security procedures, and individual psychological profiles that enabled targeted recruitment of personnel vulnerable to financial incentives or ideological manipulation. Counterintelligence assessment reveals a systematic approach to recruitment that specifically targeted personnel with access to special operations intelligence, while maintaining operational security that prevented detection until Commander Sterling's investigation exposed the network through patient collection of evidence during deep cover operation. The investigation reaches the final phase as evidence collection completes and arrests proceed across multiple installations simultaneously. Coordinated law enforcement action secures testimony and physical evidence supporting prosecution of military personnel who participated in systematic betrayal managed by foreign intelligence services. Personnel security reviews expand to encompass all military personnel with access to classified information about special operations capabilities. Enhanced background investigations, financial monitoring, and psychological assessment seek to identify additional vulnerabilities that foreign intelligence services might exploit for future recruitment operations. The morning briefing includes formal recognition of Commander Sterling's successful completion of deep cover operation that prevented additional American casualties while exposing systematic intelligence sharing network managed by foreign intelligence services through recruitment of military personnel who chose money over loyalty. If this story of hidden strength and ultimate revelation gives you chills, show your support by hitting that like button, clicking the thanks button to help bring you more of these incredible stories, and make sure to subscribe because trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next in this series. 3 helicopters approach Norfolk Naval Base with rotors beating thunder that announce the arrival of Pentagon leadership responding to a national security emergency. General Patricia Stormwind emerges before aircraft complete landing sequence, her silver stars catching morning sunlight as she strides across tarmac with purpose that suggests this isn't routine inspection. 2 additional flag officers follow, General Marcus Ironhold carrying a briefcase containing legal documentation for espionage prosecution, and General Victoria Steelcrest, whose intelligence background speaks to operational complexities requiring immediate resolution and ongoing counterintelligence operations. The formal ceremony takes place in the base auditorium, where every personnel not engaged in critical duties assembles as witnesses to historical moments. Official recognition of a decorated war hero whose service required sacrificing acknowledgement of her existence, while conducting a deep cover investigation that exposed systematic betrayal. Commander Paisley Sterling, General Stormwind's voice carries across silent assembly. On behalf of Joint Special Operations Command, the United States Navy, and grateful nation, I formally welcome you back to official service status and commend your exceptional completion of Operation Deep Current. The citation details emerge in carefully edited form that protects classified operational methods while acknowledging 4 months of maintaining civilian contractor cover while conducting investigation that identified an intelligence sharing network responsible for systematic compromise of American special operations capabilities. Admiral Hartwell reads commendation crediting her investigation with exposing a network of military personnel sharing classified information with foreign intelligence services through systematic betrayal that resulted in enemy advance warning about American operations and contributed to deaths of 7 operators overseas. Commander Sterling's willingness to endure systematic harassment while maintaining operational cover enabled collection of evidence supporting prosecution of military personnel who chose treason over loyalty. Her sacrifice prevented additional American casualties while exposing foreign intelligence operations that threatened ongoing missions worldwide. The formal recognition transforms her from supposed civilian contractor to decorated military officer, whose deep cover investigation required months of careful evidence collection while maintaining operational security that prevented detection by foreign intelligence handlers managing systematic recruitment of American military personnel. Personnel consequences cascade through multiple layers as investigation results trigger systematic review of security procedures, personnel monitoring systems, and counterintelligence protocols designed to prevent future recruitment of military personnel by foreign intelligence services. Staff Sergeant Blackwell faces court-martial proceedings for espionage, treason, and conspiracy charges that carry potential death penalty under military justice system. His financial records reveal cryptocurrency payments totaling over $200,000 for classified information that directly contributed to enemy attacks against American forces. Lieutenant Mercer confronts criminal prosecution for using social media platforms to distribute classified information to foreign nationals whose background investigations revealed connections to hostile intelligence services. Her social network analysis exposes sophisticated recruitment techniques targeting military personnel through personal relationships and ideological manipulation. Captain Beckham faces additional charges related to computer fraud and unauthorized system modification that enabled systematic extraction of classified information while avoiding standard security monitoring. His technical expertise provided essential support for foreign intelligence operations, requiring sophisticated understanding of military information systems. Chief Thatcher confronts prosecution for unauthorized encryption and transmission of classified information using communication systems designed to evade security monitoring. His technical knowledge enabled the operational backbone for intelligence sharing networks that cost American lives through systematic betrayal of operational security. Master Chief Knox receives promotion to Senior Chief Petty Officer for demonstrating observational skills and professional judgment that contributed to successful mission completion. His ability to recognize behavioral inconsistencies without compromising operational security exemplifies standards expected of senior enlisted leadership in counterintelligence environments. Petty Officer Whitlock earns commendation for documenting transformation that provides training material for future courses on identifying friendly assets operating under deep cover. His video evidence demonstrates how appearance can mask operational capability while serving educational purposes for personnel security training. The cultural transformation begins immediately as base personnel who witnessed revelation spread stories that become legend within military communities. Princess Operator enters service mythology as an example of a warrior whose strength wore a beautiful mask, challenging assumptions about capability and appearance that have dominated military culture for generations. Institutional changes follow formal recommendations submitted to Pentagon leadership requiring enhanced verification procedures before questioning contractor credentials. Training programs incorporate lessons about cognitive biases that compromise security when personnel make assumptions based on appearance rather than evidence and operational necessity. Legacy establishment ensures Commander Sterling's sacrifice becomes inspiration for future recruitment efforts targeting women considering military service. Her example provides proof that strength manifests in unexpected forms, and elite operators don't necessarily conform to traditional masculine stereotypes that have historically dominated the special operations community. Personnel security reviews expand across multiple installations, where similar intelligence compromise patterns suggest coordinated foreign intelligence operations, targeting American special operations capabilities through systematic recruitment of military personnel with access to classified operational planning and tactical intelligence. Counterintelligence investigation reveals sophisticated recruitment methodology specifically designed to identify military personnel vulnerable to financial incentives or ideological manipulation that would motivate betrayal of classified information. Foreign intelligence services demonstrated professional understanding of American military culture and individual psychological vulnerabilities. The morning brings classified briefing outlining operational implications of systematic intelligence compromise that spans multiple installations and involves dozens of military personnel recruited by foreign intelligence services for coordinated attack against American special operations capabilities. Evidence analysis reveals foreign intelligence services successfully penetrated American military security through recruitment of personnel across multiple installations, providing comprehensive intelligence about special operations that enabled targeted attacks against high-value missions and cost American lives overseas. Financial investigation exposes complex money laundering operations, distributing payments for classified information while maintaining plausible deniability for individual participants. Cryptocurrency transfers and offshore banking created sophisticated payment structures requiring months of investigation to untangle and trace to ultimate foreign sources. Communication intercepts provide evidence of coordination between recruited personnel and overseas intelligence handlers who manage systematic collection operations targeting American military capabilities. Voice analysis confirms participation by multiple base personnel in organized espionage that exceeded individual criminal activity. Digital forensics uncovers sophisticated malware designed to extract classified information while avoiding standard security monitoring, indicating foreign intelligence services provided technical tools enabling systematic collection without triggering automatic detection systems that should have identified unauthorized database access. The investigation reveals former American military personnel defected to foreign intelligence service and manage recruitment networks using intimate knowledge of American operational culture, security procedures, and psychological vulnerabilities that enabled successful targeting of military personnel across multiple installations. Counterintelligence assessment confirms systematic approach to military intelligence collection requiring years of preparation, significant resource investment, and professional expertise in recruitment and operational security that achieved strategic objectives individual criminal activity could never accomplish. Personnel behavior analysis during Commander Sterling's contractor cover operation revealed underlying attitudes about security protocols that illuminated vulnerabilities exploited by foreign intelligence services through recruitment of military personnel who demonstrated unauthorized knowledge of classified information. The evidence becomes overwhelming as investigation exposes systematic betrayal spanning multiple installations, involving dozens of military personnel, and directly contributing to enemy operations that cost American lives through provision of advance warning about classified missions that should have remained secret until completion. But questions remain about scope of intelligence, compromise, and whether additional participants remain active at installations that haven't been investigated. Foreign intelligence services demonstrated sophisticated understanding of American military procedures, suggesting ongoing penetration beyond identified networks. Admiral Hartwell receives encrypted communication, transforming investigation from local security matter into national emergency, requiring immediate Pentagon oversight and interagency coordination. Intelligence compromise represents systematic attack against American special operations capabilities, threatening ongoing missions worldwide. The morning briefing includes classified updates on overseas operations compromised due to intelligence leaks from Norfolk Naval Base and associated installations. Mission parameters that should have remained secret reached hostile forces with advance warning, enabling preparation of ambushes that cost American strategic objectives and operator lives. Evidence presentation reveals scope of intelligence compromise, extending beyond initial assessment to encompass facilities across multiple geographic regions where American forces conduct classified operations. Someone maintained a very patient, systematic, and successful approach to compromising American military security through coordinated recruitment efforts. Personnel involved in intelligence sharing networks demonstrate sophisticated understanding of military information architecture, suggesting professional training rather than opportunistic criminal activity. Foreign intelligence services provided specific guidance about target selection, collection methodologies, and operational security, maximizing intelligence value while minimizing detection risks. The investigation expands to encompass additional evidence of systematic foreign intelligence penetration, targeting American military capabilities through recruitment of personnel with access to operational planning for special operations across multiple theaters where American forces conduct classified missions. Communication analysis reveals coordination between multiple participants across different installations, suggesting centralized management by foreign intelligence handlers who orchestrated systematic collection operations, specifically targeting American special operations capabilities through recruitment of military personnel with appropriate access. Financial investigation reveals payment structure designed to provide steady income, encouraging continued participation while maintaining operational security for controlling intelligence service. Regular cryptocurrency transfers created an incentive system rewarding systematic betrayal over extended time periods without detection. The morning brings a formal recognition ceremony acknowledging Commander Sterling's successful completion of deep cover operation, preventing additional American casualties while exposing systematic betrayal, costing 7 operators their lives through foreign intelligence recruitment of military personnel who chose treason over loyalty. General Stormwind delivers formal citation, crediting Commander Sterling with exposing foreign intelligence operations that systematically compromised American special operations capabilities through recruitment of military personnel across multiple installations over an extended time period, requiring sophisticated operational planning and resource investment. Commander Sterling's investigation revealed systematic penetration of American military security by foreign intelligence services using former American military personnel to manage recruitment networks, targeting current operators with access to classified operational intelligence about special operations capabilities. The strategic implications extend beyond individual criminal prosecution to encompass systematic review of personnel security procedures, background investigation protocols, and ongoing monitoring systems designed to prevent recruitment of military personnel by foreign intelligence services using sophisticated understanding of American military culture. Evidence suggests former American operators provided foreign intelligence services with detailed intelligence about military culture, security procedures, and individual psychological profiles, enabling targeted recruitment of personnel vulnerable to financial incentives or ideological manipulation for systematic intelligence sharing operations. Counterintelligence assessment reveals a systematic approach to recruitment specifically targeting personnel with access to special operations intelligence, while maintaining operational security, preventing detection until Commander Sterling's investigation exposed the network through patient evidence collection during deep cover operation. The investigation reaches conclusion as evidence collection completes and arrests proceed across multiple installations simultaneously. Coordinated law enforcement action secures testimony and physical evidence supporting prosecution of military personnel who participated in systematic betrayal managed by foreign intelligence services through sophisticated recruitment networks. Personnel security reviews expand to encompass all military personnel, with access to classified information about special operations capabilities. Enhanced background investigations, financial monitoring, and psychological assessment seek to identify additional vulnerabilities that foreign intelligence services might exploit for future recruitment operations. The formal ceremony concludes with presentation of classified commendation, acknowledging Commander Sterling's exceptional service during Operation Deep Current and her contribution to exposing systematic foreign intelligence penetration that threatened American special operations capabilities through recruitment of military personnel. But the mission isn't over. Her encrypted communication device receives a priority message containing coordinates for immediate deployment and a single word that changes everything: Shadowfall. Additional intelligence suggests the network exposed at Norfolk Naval Base represents only partial penetration of American military security. Foreign intelligence services have been systematically recruiting military personnel across multiple installations for comprehensive intelligence collection operations targeting American capabilities worldwide. Commander, new intelligence indicates Norfolk was the primary collection point, but systematic compromise extends to installations where American forces conduct classified operations in multiple theaters. Someone has been very patient, very systematic, and very successful in penetrating our security through coordinated recruitment efforts. General Steelcrest approaches with classified briefing materials that transform completed investigation into ongoing operational requirements. Commander Sterling, intelligence assessment confirms systematic foreign penetration requiring immediate response to prevent additional American casualties while maintaining operational security for ongoing missions that may have been compromised. The encrypted tablet displays operational parameters for immediate deployment to the European theater, where intelligence analysis suggests similar foreign recruitment networks may be operating against American installations conducting classified missions in support of NATO operations and regional security requirements. Enemy expects male operatives exclusively, she explains during classified briefing, outlining deployment parameters requiring operators capable of infiltrating hostile environments without triggering suspicion among adversaries who have demonstrated ability to identify and neutralize conventional assets. Her next assignment involves operations against adversaries who've successfully identified and compromised conventional intelligence assets through recruitment of military personnel and sophisticated understanding of American operational procedures that enable successful targeting of high-value missions. The beauty that everyone dismissed as weakness becomes the ultimate operational weapon when deployed against enemies whose cultural biases create exploitable vulnerabilities. Foreign intelligence services don't suspect blonde princesses carrying classified materials or conducting reconnaissance in locations where traditional operators would be immediately identified and eliminated. Advanced tactical training programs provide specialized education required for complex operational environments where enemies possess sophisticated counterintelligence capabilities and demonstrated success in recruiting American military personnel through professional understanding of cultural vulnerabilities and individual motivations. Operation Shadowfall requires someone who appears completely innocent, Admiral Hartwell explains during a classified mission briefing. Intelligence assessment indicates enemy recruitment networks specifically target male military personnel. They have never encountered female operators using beauty as operational cover for high-level intelligence collection. The strategic deployment represents evolution of deep cover operations, requiring operators capable of infiltrating foreign intelligence networks through systematic deception that exploits enemy biases about female capability while conducting classified missions in hostile environments where conventional approaches have been systematically compromised. Her operational parameters include establishing contact with suspected foreign intelligence networks operating in the European theater while maintaining civilian cover that provides access to military installations where American forces conduct classified operations, vulnerable to intelligence compromise through recruitment of personnel with appropriate access. The mission requires operators capable of systematic evidence collection while maintaining operational security against adversaries who have demonstrated sophisticated understanding of American military culture and proven success in recruiting military personnel for intelligence sharing operations that cost American lives. Financial investigation protocols enable tracking of cryptocurrency payments and offshore banking operations used to compensate recruited American military personnel for classified information shared with foreign intelligence services. Her expertise in digital forensics provides capability for identifying financial networks, supporting systematic intelligence compromise. Communication analysis techniques developed during Norfolk investigation enable identification of coordination patterns between recruited personnel and foreign intelligence handlers managing systematic collection operations, targeting American military capabilities across multiple installations and geographic regions. The operational environment presents unprecedented challenges, requiring operators with proven ability to maintain deep cover while conducting investigation against adversaries who possess professional counterintelligence capabilities and demonstrated success in penetrating American military security through recruitment of personnel with appropriate access levels. But something in the classified briefing materials suggests Shadowfall represents more than a counterintelligence operation against foreign recruitment networks. References to domestic assets and political implications indicate investigation may encompass American political figures whose involvement in foreign intelligence operations could constitute systematic attack against American national security. The encrypted communication concludes with an operational timeline requiring immediate deployment and mission duration extending indefinitely until systematic foreign intelligence penetration of American military security can be neutralized through identification and prosecution of all participants in coordinated recruitment networks. Some missions end with arrests and prosecution, General Stormwind explains during the final briefing. Others require ongoing operations against adversaries who possess sophisticated capabilities and proven willingness to target American military personnel for recruitment into systematic betrayal that costs American lives overseas. Commander Sterling's next assignment represents the evolution of deep cover operations, requiring sustained deception against adversaries who understand American military culture well enough to successfully recruit multiple military personnel across different installations for coordinated intelligence sharing that directly contributed to enemy attacks against American forces. The morning brings encrypted orders for immediate deployment to an operational environment where foreign intelligence services have demonstrated sophisticated recruitment capabilities targeting American military personnel with access to classified operational planning and tactical intelligence about special operations conducted in multiple theaters. Her beauty becomes a tactical advantage against enemies whose cultural assumptions about female capability create exploitable vulnerabilities, enabling infiltration of foreign intelligence networks that have successfully penetrated American military security through recruitment of personnel motivated by financial incentives or ideological manipulation. The operational parameters require operators capable of maintaining civilian cover while conducting systematic investigation against foreign intelligence services using former American military personnel to manage recruitment networks, targeting current operators with access to classified information about American special operations capabilities. But the mission extends beyond simple counterintelligence operations. References to systemic compromise and institutional penetration suggest foreign intelligence services have achieved strategic objectives that individual recruitment efforts could never accomplish through coordinated attack against American military capabilities. The investigation reveals a systematic approach to intelligence collection requiring years of preparation, significant resource investment, and professional expertise in recruitment and operational security that achieved comprehensive penetration of American special operations through recruitment of military personnel across multiple installations. Evidence suggests foreign intelligence services specifically targeted American military culture, security procedures, and individual psychological vulnerabilities that enabled successful recruitment of personnel who chose financial incentives over loyalty to brothers in arms and caused deaths of American operators through systematic betrayal. The encrypted tablet displays final operational orders containing a single line that defines mission parameters extending far beyond Norfolk Naval Base investigation. Identify, infiltrate, and neutralize systematic foreign intelligence penetration of American military capabilities through recruitment networks managed by former American military personnel. Her next assignment represents the ultimate test of operational capability, requiring sustained deep cover operation against adversaries who possess intimate knowledge of American military culture and demonstrated success in recruiting military personnel for systematic intelligence sharing that directly contributed to enemy attacks, costing American lives overseas. The mission begins with encrypted communication containing coordinates for European deployment and operational parameters requiring immediate infiltration of suspected foreign intelligence networks operating against American installations, where classified operations support NATO requirements and regional security objectives. But questions remain about scope of systematic foreign intelligence penetration and whether recruited American military personnel represent complete network or partial exposure of coordinated attack against American national security, extending beyond military installations to encompass political and intelligence institutions. The morning brings final recognition that Commander Sterling's investigation at Norfolk Naval Base exposed systematic foreign intelligence operations that achieved strategic penetration of American military security through recruitment networks managed by former American military personnel using sophisticated understanding of cultural vulnerabilities. Her success in maintaining deep cover while exposing systematic betrayal that cost American lives demonstrates operational capability required for ongoing missions against adversaries who understand American military culture well enough to successfully recruit multiple personnel across different installations for coordinated intelligence sharing. The encrypted orders conclude with an operational directive that transforms completed investigation into ongoing requirement. Continue deep cover operations until systematic foreign intelligence penetration of American military capabilities can be completely neutralized through identification and prosecution of all participants in recruitment networks. But the final line of operational orders contains revelation that changes everything about mission parameters and strategic implications. Domestic political figures may be involved in foreign intelligence recruitment operations. Investigate and report through classified channels only. Trust no one outside immediate operational control. The truth emerges that Norfolk Naval Base represents partial exposure of systematic attack against American national security that extends beyond military installations to encompass political institutions, where foreign intelligence services may have achieved recruitment of American officials for intelligence sharing that threatens national security at highest levels. Commander Sterling's next assignment requires infiltration of foreign intelligence networks that have demonstrated capability to recruit American military personnel while maintaining operational security against counterintelligence investigations. Her proven ability to maintain deep cover enables ongoing operations against sophisticated adversaries. The beauty that served as perfect camouflage during Norfolk investigation became an operational advantage against enemies whose cultural biases create exploitable vulnerabilities, enabling systematic penetration of foreign intelligence networks that have successfully compromised American military security through professional recruitment methodologies. Her operational capability represents the ultimate weapon against adversaries who understand American military culture well enough to successfully recruit multiple military personnel for systematic intelligence sharing that directly contributed to enemy attacks against American forces and cost operators' lives overseas. The mission continues with encrypted communication containing operational parameters requiring indefinite deployment against foreign intelligence networks that have achieved systematic penetration of American military capabilities through recruitment of personnel who chose financial incentives over loyalty to the country. But the final encrypted message contains a single line that defines ongoing operational requirements extending far beyond individual investigation. Sometimes the deadliest warriors wear the most beautiful masks of innocence, and sometimes the longest missions never truly end. The truth settles like lead weight. Norfolk Naval Base was beginning, not conclusion, of systematic foreign intelligence operation that extends across multiple installations, involves dozens of recruited American personnel, and threatens ongoing missions through comprehensive penetration of American military security. Her next assignment represents continuation of deep cover operations requiring sustained deception against adversaries who possess sophisticated counterintelligence capabilities and demonstrated willingness to recruit American military personnel for systematic betrayal that costs American lives through provision of classified operational intelligence to hostile forces. The encrypted tablet displays the final operational directive, Operation Shadowfall, authorized for indefinite duration. Mission parameters: identify and neutralize systematic foreign intelligence, penetration of American national security through recruitment networks extending beyond military installations to encompass political and intelligence institutions. Commander Paisley Sterling's transformation from civilian contractor to decorated war hero concludes with recognition that her mission continues indefinitely against adversaries who have achieved systematic penetration of American security through sophisticated understanding of cultural vulnerabilities and professional recruitment methodologies. The morning brings encrypted orders for immediate deployment to an operational environment where foreign intelligence services continue recruiting American personnel for systematic intelligence sharing that threatens national security at levels requiring ongoing deep cover operations by operators proven capable of maintaining deception against sophisticated adversaries. Her beauty remains a tactical advantage against enemies whose assumptions about female capability create exploitable vulnerabilities, enabling continued infiltration of foreign intelligence networks that have successfully penetrated American military security through recruitment of personnel motivated by financial incentives or ideological manipulation. The mission extends beyond Norfolk Naval Base to encompass systematic counterintelligence operations against foreign recruitment networks that have achieved comprehensive penetration of American military capabilities through coordination managed by former American military personnel who understand cultural vulnerabilities well enough to successfully target current operators. But the final revelation transforms completed investigation into ongoing operational requirements that may extend indefinitely. Systematic foreign intelligence penetration of American national security represents coordinated attacks that threaten military, political, and intelligence institutions through recruitment networks managed with professional expertise and significant resource investment. Commander Sterling's next assignment represents the ultimate test of operational capability, requiring sustained deep cover against adversaries who possess intimate knowledge of American culture and demonstrated success in recruiting American personnel for systematic intelligence sharing that directly contributed to enemy attacks, costing American lives through betrayal of classified operational information. The encrypted communication concludes with operational parameters that define mission extending far beyond individual investigation. Identify, infiltrate, and neutralize systematic foreign intelligence penetration of American national security. Mission duration, indefinite. Operational priority: prevent additional American casualties while exposing a complete recruitment network. The truth emerges that Norfolk Naval Base investigation exposed a partial network of systematic foreign intelligence operations, extending across multiple institutions and requiring ongoing counterintelligence operations by proven operators capable of maintaining deep cover against sophisticated adversaries who understand American vulnerabilities well enough to achieve strategic penetration of national security. Her transformation from supposed civilian contractor to decorated war hero concludes with recognition that the mission never truly ends. Foreign intelligence services continue recruiting American personnel for systematic betrayal, requiring ongoing operations by warriors, willing to sacrifice recognition for service to something larger than themselves. The final encrypted message contains operational truth that defines the continuing requirement. Sometimes the most important battles are fought in shadows by warriors whose existence cannot be acknowledged, and sometimes the greatest victories are measured not by recognition received, but by American lives saved through sacrifice no one will ever know. Commander Paisley Sterling's story continues beyond Norfolk Naval Base, with encrypted orders for deployment against systematic foreign intelligence penetration that threatens American national security through recruitment networks, extending across military, political, and intelligence institutions, requiring ongoing deep cover operations by operators proven capable of maintaining deception against sophisticated adversaries. The morning brings a new mission, new cover identity, new operational parameters for indefinite deployment against enemies who have demonstrated professional capability to recruit American personnel for systematic intelligence sharing that costs American lives through betrayal of classified information to hostile forces operating in multiple theaters. Her beauty remains the ultimate weapon against adversaries whose cultural assumptions create exploitable vulnerabilities, enabling continued infiltration of foreign intelligence networks that threaten American security through sophisticated understanding of psychological vulnerabilities and professional recruitment methodologies, targeting personnel with access to classified operational intelligence. The mission continues with an encrypted operational directive that transforms Norfolk investigation into ongoing requirement. Operation Shadowfall represents systematic counterintelligence operation against foreign recruitment networks that have achieved comprehensive penetration of American national security, requiring indefinite deep cover operations until complete network neutralization is achieved. The truth settles with finality that defines ongoing operational reality. Some missions never end, some warriors never rest, and some sacrifices require abandoning recognition in service of protecting American lives through systematic deception against sophisticated adversaries who understand American vulnerabilities well enough to achieve strategic penetration of national security institutions. Commander Sterling's next assignment begins with encrypted communication containing coordinates for immediate deployment and operational parameters requiring infiltration of foreign intelligence networks that continue recruiting American personnel for systematic intelligence sharing that threatens ongoing missions through comprehensive compromise of American military capabilities achieved through professional recruitment methodologies. The final line of operational orders contains the truth that defines the continuing mission. The greatest warriors are those whose battles cannot be acknowledged, whose victories cannot be celebrated, and whose sacrifices protect American lives through service in shadows, where heroes work without recognition because the work itself is reward enough. The tablet's screen dims as the encrypted message dissolves into digital ether, leaving only the reflection of her face staring back from the darkened surface. In that brief moment between missions, between identities, between versions of herself, Paisley allows the weight of truth to settle in her chest like cold steel. She thinks of the 7 operators who died because someone chose cryptocurrency over brotherhood. Their names are classified, their missions officially never happened, their families told they died in training accidents or equipment failures. But she knows their faces from classified briefings. Their service records that read like novels of sacrifice and valor, cut short by betrayal from within their own ranks. Master Chief Rodriguez from Team 3, who left behind twin daughters who will never know their father died protecting a village of Afghan civilians from Taliban execution squads. Lieutenant Commander Hayes from Team 7, whose wife received a folded flag and the lie that her husband's helicopter experienced mechanical failure during routine training rather than the truth that enemy forces possessed. Advance warning about his rescue mission because someone sold the intelligence for 30 pieces of digital silver. The personal cost of deep cover operations extends beyond professional sacrifice to encompass fundamental questions of identity and purpose. For 4 months, she absorbed systematic humiliation from people she was risking her life to protect, enduring attacks on her competence, her appearance, her right to exist in spaces where real warriors gathered. Each insult, each dismissal, each moment of manufactured vulnerability served operational necessity while carving away pieces of the person she used to be. Now she faces indefinite deployment under cover identities that require abandoning not just recognition, but the possibility of genuine human connection. Deep cover operators don't maintain relationships that could compromise missions or endanger civilians who might become leverage against national security. They exist in professional isolation that protects operational security while slowly eroding the psychological foundations that sustain ordinary human beings. The beauty that served as tactical advantage during Norfolk investigation will continue providing operational cover for infiltration of foreign intelligence networks. But maintaining that cover requires constant performance, never relaxing into authentic self-expression, always calculating how appearance and behavior serve mission parameters rather than personal needs or desires. She considers the foreign intelligence handler who was once in the American military, someone who understood the culture well enough to systematically exploit its vulnerabilities. What drove that transformation from protector to predator? Financial desperation, ideological conversion, personal betrayal that shattered faith in the institutions he once served? The psychology of treason fascinates and horrifies in equal measure because it represents ultimate corruption of bonds that should transcend individual grievance. The systematic recruitment of American military personnel reveals sophisticated understanding of psychological pressure points that enable foreign intelligence services to transform patriots into traitors through careful application of financial incentives and ideological manipulation. Someone studied American military culture extensively enough to identify specific vulnerabilities that could be exploited for recruitment purposes. Professional pride becomes weakness when combined with financial desperation. Idealism transforms into cynicism when exposed to operational realities that contradict recruiting promises. Brotherhood evolves into resentment when promotion opportunities favor political connections over battlefield competence. Foreign intelligence services understand these cultural dynamics well enough to weaponize them against American national security. The morning brings reflection on broader implications of systematic intelligence compromise that extends beyond military installations to encompass political and intelligence institutions. If foreign adversaries successfully recruited multiple military personnel across different installations, what prevents similar operations targeting congressional staff members, intelligence analysts, or executive branch officials with access to classified information? American democratic institutions assume fundamental loyalty from personnel granted security clearances, but systematic recruitment operations prove that assumption false under specific circumstances. Financial pressure, ideological grievance, and professional disappointment create vulnerabilities that sophisticated adversaries can exploit through patient cultivation and careful manipulation of individual psychology. The scope of potential compromise extends far beyond operational intelligence to encompass strategic policy decisions, diplomatic negotiations, and economic planning that affects American national interests. Foreign intelligence services that successfully penetrate military security possess capability to target any American institution through recruitment of personnel with appropriate access and motivation for systematic betrayal. Her next operational environment presents unprecedented challenges requiring sustained deception against adversaries who understand American culture well enough to successfully recruit multiple personnel for coordinated intelligence sharing. The European theater contains NATO installations where American forces conduct classified operations, vulnerable to intelligence compromise, through recruitment of personnel with access to operational planning and tactical intelligence. Allied security services provide additional complexity because foreign intelligence operations targeting American personnel may also threaten partner nation capabilities and regional security requirements. International cooperation requires sharing classified information with allied personnel whose security procedures and cultural vulnerabilities may differ from American standards, creating additional opportunities for systematic compromise. The operational timeline extends indefinitely because foreign intelligence services possess patient, systematic approaches to recruitment that require years of cultivation before achieving operational success. Counterintelligence operations must demonstrate equal patience and systematic methodology to identify and neutralize recruitment networks that have achieved strategic penetration of American security institutions. Her proven ability to maintain deep cover while conducting investigation against sophisticated adversaries represents unique capability required for ongoing operations against foreign intelligence services that understand American military culture well enough to successfully recruit multiple personnel for systematic intelligence sharing that costs American lives through betrayal of classified operational information. The beauty that served as perfect camouflage during Norfolk investigation became a continuing operational advantage against enemies whose cultural biases about female capability create systematic blind spots that enable infiltration of foreign intelligence networks through approaches that conventional male operators could never achieve without immediate detection and neutralization. But the psychological toll of indefinite deep cover operations requires consideration of personal sustainability over extended time periods. Maintaining false identity while conducting systematic deception against sophisticated adversaries who possess professional counterintelligence capabilities demands constant vigilance that eventually exhausts even the most dedicated operators. Support systems for deep cover personnel operating under indefinite deployment timelines require careful balance between operational security and psychological health. Complete isolation prevents compromise, but also accelerates psychological degradation that eventually compromises operational effectiveness through accumulated stress and identity confusion. The mission parameters acknowledge this reality through provision of encrypted communication channels that enable periodic contact with operational handlers who understand the unique pressures of sustained deception against sophisticated adversaries. Professional counseling services provided through classified channels offer psychological support for operators conducting indefinite deep cover operations. Her personal motivation extends beyond professional duty to encompass emotional commitment to preventing additional American casualties through systematic exposure of foreign intelligence recruitment networks. The 7 operators who died because of intelligence compromise represent personal responsibility that transcends mission parameters to become a fundamental purpose that sustains dedication through operational hardships. The encrypted tablet displays a final operational message containing coordinates for immediate deployment and cover identity documentation that transforms Commander Paisley Sterling into civilian consultant, specializing in international business development, with expertise in European markets and cultural dynamics that provide perfect operational cover for infiltrating suspected foreign intelligence networks. Her next identity requires abandoning military bearing for civilian mannerisms that suggest corporate background rather than tactical training. Voice patterns, body language, and social interactions must conform to business professional standards while maintaining awareness and capabilities that enable systematic investigation of foreign intelligence operations targeting American installations. The transformation process involves weeks of preparation, including cultural immersion, language training, and professional credentialing that creates comprehensive cover identity capable of withstanding sophisticated background investigation by foreign intelligence services that possess proven ability to identify and neutralize American assets. But beneath the civilian disguise, behind the business consultant facade, beyond the beautiful mask that conceals deadly capability, remains fundamental truth that defines continuing service. Some battles require warriors who accept permanent exile from recognition in order to protect American lives through sacrifice that honors fallen brothers, by preventing additional casualties through systematic exposure of enemies who exploit American vulnerabilities for strategic advantage. The morning brings departure orders for indefinite deployment against systematic foreign intelligence penetration that threatens American national security through recruitment networks extending across multiple institutions and requiring ongoing counterintelligence operations by proven operators capable of maintaining deception against sophisticated adversaries who understand American culture well enough to achieve strategic compromise of classified capabilities. Her beauty remains ultimate weapon against enemies whose assumptions create exploitable vulnerabilities. Her intelligence provides analytical capability for systematic investigation, and her dedication ensures mission success regardless of personal cost. Because the work itself becomes reward enough for warriors who serve in shadows where heroes protect American lives through battles that cannot be acknowledged and victories that cannot be celebrated.
Behind every uniform is a person trying their best. See each other with respect. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to TNG Story.